Welcome to Quantum Finance. My name is Parker. I'm the head trader here, but I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. So, in today's video, we'll take a look at the economic data, we'll go over some news, we'll do an overview of the market, and then we'll look at the trading opportunities, and then we'll end the video off looking at the economic data we have coming up. So, today we did have CPI come out, and it did come out at 6%, which is what was forecasted here. We can turn to some of the news. As you can see here, we have a chart of the annual inflation rate at 6%. As you can see, the slow decline here. And here is the CPI select categories year-over-year percent change with airfare and natural gas here at the top, and used cars and gasoline down here at the bottom. And we actually did finally get the egg bubble bust. We finally getting some downward action here in the price of eggs, as they have been going parabolic for all year. Here we have the shelter CPI moving up to 8.1%, the highest rate of housing inflation since 1982. As you can see here, shelter is continuing upwards as rents are declining, with the spread getting larger here. Here we have the U.S. real average hourly earnings. They are down negative 1.3%, which is the 23rd consecutive month of negative real average hourly earnings. We also have Zuckerberg firing 10,000 more employees from Meta. And we have Moody's cutting the outlook on the entire U.S. banking system to negative from stable, citing a rapidly deteriorating operating environment. So now we'll do an overview of the market. Starting here in the debt market, we have the 10-year yield getting a green day bounce after getting really extended to the downside on the lower extreme. Just bouncing off this lower range here. The dollar, we do have a red day on the dollar, but it did not break yesterday's lows. Still kind of sitting here at the lower end of this daily range. Continued weakness here on the weekly chart. I did want to run through these other yields so you can see how today went after the massive sell-off we had yesterday. As you can see, pretty big green days across the board in yields. Yeah, now we'll look at the SPY ETF here for the S&P 500. We do have a green day print on the S&P with a large wick to the downside. As you can see, bouncing off this area here. If you look at the weekly here, it bounced right at the close of these candles here. At the end of December, working its way back up towards this weekly midline as the weekly range is getting tighter. Looking at Bitcoin, we have another big green day here, and Bitcoin actually breaking this high here, and as you can see, actually piercing through this high. So this is like the highest price Bitcoin has been in over 275 days. So that's really nice to see. As I was talking about before, we getting that nice close above this weekly 20, which was extremely bullish, which did get us a nice momentum here to the upside. Really looking forward to see what happens here in crypto coming over the next couple of weeks and months. Looking at XRP, we get to see XRP green day here, trying to get up through that midline. It did wick off the upper band, but as you can see, extremely tight here on daily and extremely tight here on the weekly. Looking for a big move in XRP coming up in the future. Looking at commodities, we do have oil. Oil is getting kind of spicy here. As you can see, big red day in oil breaking through these previous support, coming down to touch the lower support here back from December. This is getting pretty wild here. As you can see, it's squeezing down through this lower extreme. If it does break this, support from right here, and we do start making new lows, I would expect oil to come down, towards this lower extreme here and these wicks. So somewhere down into the $67 to $60 range here if we do break that low. Which is surprising. Honestly, I thought we would get some. This looked like it was going to break, potentially to the upside here, but with that, banking crisis and the big sell-off and everything, kind of interesting action to see what we're getting here in oil. Gold, we are getting a red day here in gold, just some profit taking from the massive move we've had, trying to come back in, get back in towards this extreme here in the range. Still, sitting up here towards the upper end of the monthly range. Silver, red day here in silver, not much action, just kind of a slightly red day here. It is wicking off of this previous resistance here, which is also that midline there on the monthly chart. So now we'll look at the trades from today. We'll look here at the S&P 500. Let's zoom out actually a little bit more, start with that. Kind of go over the action we got today. Sorry, let me get my charts right. So this was yesterday. As you can see, we got the push up and kind of the fade. And then this morning we had a nice gap up. We got the strength in the morning, rejection off the 200-day moving average and Friday's high. Bunch of selling happened here. We got a big sell-off into the lower extreme here, into the lower band. And then we got a really nice bounce into the close. That was, really nice to see that strength coming in here after, bouncing off kind of this midline from yesterday. So, let's see. How do I want to do this? Yeah, we'll just look at the trading opportunities for the SPY on here on the 5-minute. I do have pre-market data turned off, and I want to talk about this trend, that I've been talking about for the past couple of recaps, right? I've been talking about it for, over a week now, that this trend has been strength in the morning, sell off into the close. Strength in the morning, sell off. Strength in the morning, sell off. So I've been talking about how it has been a good opportunity to short into the resistance in the morning time when we get that strength. Because you see it happened here, ran right into that 200-day, boom, big sell off. Yesterday, we got the rising wedge running into Thursday's lows, boom, sold off. Today it was the same thing, very similar to what happened on Friday. We literally got the same pattern as yesterday here. We did get a rising wedge here running into Friday's highs and the 200-day moving average before getting a nice rejection and then our sell-off. And on top of this bearish reversal pattern we had into resistance, look what we also had. We also had a squeeze to the downside with momentum. So this would have been a really nice for put options here. Getting short, you could have gotten short up into here when we were running into the 200-day and this, but as you can see, it pierced through it, so it wouldn't have been it wasn't a perfect rejection. I mean, obviously the better trade is to get in here in the break of the rising wedge or into the retest of the trend line there. And we can actually look at the put options on this because this was a pretty monster trade here. What were we at up here? We were at 392.91. So let's look at these put options. Are these today's expiry? Yeah, these were. Yeah, so looking at these 392 put options here on the S&P 500. Let me move this. Okay, so you can see your entry was here into the breakdown. As you can see here, these contracts, if you got in on the breakdown or the retest, we'll just call it in this area. We'll go the upper range. You're looking at $1.11. As you can see, these contracts, obviously you're not going to hold this to the bottom, but these contracts at the first take profit here, well, we can look at when we get into VWAP. So in the VWAP, you're looking at about a 20% gain. On the break of VWAP, we were looking at 230%. On that extension, we're looking at almost 300, and then at the highs, we're looking at 344%. So monster move on these put contracts here. A lot of good opportunity in the S&P 500 to take advantage of this weakness. And we're in the middle of a banking crisis, right? There's not like this was going to be all fine and dandy and we were just going to start mooning again, right? I mean, it's the same trend that I've been talking about. Look here on the 15-minute. Going all the way back to last Monday. Strength in the morning sell-off, right? Thursday, we got it again too. Strength in the morning sell-off. Friday, strength in the morning sell-off. Monday, strength in the morning sell-off. Today, strength in the morning sell-off. So it's that trend. So, definitely keep an eye on that. But something, we can look up here at the 2-hour. We can draw a little trend line here. I would, we did get a lot of strength in the close. I would be watching to see if we can get some type of move up above this to get a reversal, maybe get some more upside here in the S&P 500. But, we'll see what happens. maybe if because we did get it pretty extended out of the lower extreme, so we could get some more upside here towards this midline on the daily chart. Let's see what else we got. So I really don't think there was any other trades today. This is one of those massive kind of days where I was talking about where there's one direction to one side and then just a massive sell-off. That's not good for squeezes and continuations. Let me just look at the scanner here. I mean, there was like one trade I kind of want to talk about. Amazon. So there was a squeeze going into the end of the day here in Amazon that I wanted to show, because I could see how this could have gotten a lot of people on this downtrend break, squeeze with upward momentum. You get a MACD cross, but I want to show you why this was not the best trade idea here. I mean, if you got long into the squeeze with your stop loss down to here, I mean, it would have worked out for you, right? But I mean, you had to stick to your stop loss. I mean, right after you're buying, this is taking a nice dip here. So if you had a good stop loss down to here, I mean, it would have worked out, right into the close. But if you say you got in here and you had your stop loss right here, you're getting stopped out. So the reason I want to show you why this wasn't the best trade, let me just pull up Amazon here. So this is the entry point, right? Somewhere in here. You could have got in here on this break of the downtrend, but this is below VWAP. See, this is just not the best location because it's coming from below VWAP, right? But look over here at the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. The overall market, especially the NASDAQ, was running into resistance. It was running into VWAP. You had these upper bands here. On the S&P 500, you did have a momentum squeeze to the upside, but this is in very bearish territory. I mean, the S&P 500 has been super weak. We're below the open and below the close. The S&P is red on the day here. So when you have the overall markets at resistance, you definitely want to watch that, right? Because if the overall markets are at resistance, and this is Amazon, right? I mean, this is going to be heavily influenced by the overall market. So that's why this wasn't the best opportunity here for Amazon. Purely because the chart was kind of ugly. It did break down below VWAP, which was bearish. And you did have the overall market at resistance. I mean, you probably would have got kind of lucky here if you did buy this and you had your stop loss down here, because we did just get this monster rip into the close, and that would have worked out for you. But I just want to show why this squeeze was not the most ideal type of trade to take, because it was really the only squeeze that even really happened today that had everything we kind of look for. As you can see in most of these charts, you just have the big push up, the potential squeeze, and then just the sell off, right? Big push up, squeeze, sell off, right? So this is not the best day for squeezes, but there was amazing trade in the SPY right here for these put options on this rising wedge into the 200-day moving average resistant. So yeah, really nice trade here on the S&P 500. Going to be really interesting to see what happens after getting this, massive buying into the close here. So yeah, that'll do it for the trades. Now let's see what we got coming up for the rest of the week. So we had CPI today. Tomorrow we get core retail sales, we get PPI, and we get some crude oil inventories. So yeah, appreciate y'all watching the video, and I will talk to y'all later.